Okay, folks, welcome to GingerLion's modded Minecraft Let's Play, and I'm playing Agrarian Skies. I'm also running a couple other, but that's fine. I wanted to show you that I had replaced my platform. I've also worked pretty hard to put up safety railings around the outside, and I did that by putting a cobblestone slab, a stone slab, and a cobblestone slab. I replaced it all because I had a little bit of a fire and it scared me. So I decided to replace a lot of things. Also, while I was moving my barrels, I decided to set up, now that I have item ducts easily available, I set myself up an automatic dirt gen. How did I do that? Well, I got myself some shears, and I used that to chop down the leaves of these trees, and then I put the leaves in these barrels. You notice those numbers are ticking down. That's because they're being automatically fed into the top of these barrels, and then when the barrels finish composting, that's automatically being pulled out and making dirt. And I'm doing that because it's time for me to improve my farming considerably. I'm really tired of having just my little 9x9, 3x3 farm over here. It's just barely producing enough food for me to survive. So I'm going to let this run and get to work on my farm, and I'll be back in just a minute. Hello there, folks. Caught me as I was just tearing down this tree and broke my Invar sickle. My Invar shears, which is okay because I got almost 2 stacks of leaves out of this tree. And, ow. Clearly I'm in the process of trying to get the logs out of it too, because they're valuable to me as well. But given that my sickle's broken, I think I'm just going to let those break on their own. At this rate, I finished all of the dirt that I need for my farm. Let me go over and show you that. So, let me just plant one of these saplings. One of the nice things, by the way, about using shears is you get saplings and you get the leaf blocks. And the leaf blocks, while it takes a bunch of them to compost into any given chunk of dirt, it still makes quite a lot of dirt. So, let me go over, and I think it's time to do the planting of my farm. Bing! One pretty farm, well lit. I also put up railings around the edges so that I don't have to be nervous too much. At the moment, all I'm going to plant out here is wheat, and that may seem just a little bit silly, and maybe it is just a little bit silly, but the moment I'm eating bread and toast, and I think that moving forward, setting it up so that I can be 100% sure that I have enough bread and toast to survive would be good. Once I've got enough of a backlog of that, say a stack spare, then I can consider what other things that I might dig through my chests and that I've collected and might want to grow. So, and also, I've got a little bit of an idea of an item. If you look here, I've already got it up, of something that's available in open blocks, the sprinkler, which might allow me to cause this farm to grow better. And I'm not sure exactly how large an area a sprinkler covers. I haven't actually worked with them before. I had just heard that there was an item called a sprinkler from open blocks that helped plants grow. And I know that a lot of the other, plant growing things that are available in other mods are not in this pack. So, the fact that there is a thing that I can use, hey look, already starting to get some growth, seems like a good thing. Oh, and there's some more wheat ready over here. I'm not going to tear down this farm until that one has grown and is validly producing me wheat. And there's 4 more seeds to put my last one in. So, here we go. And now we have one complete farm all set up. So now, let's go ahead and make that sprinkler and see if we can figure out how to make the thing work. I know that I've got enough resources. Let me show you why. You'll notice, like I said, I replaced this whole platform. Well, while it was going, I left this running, which it's shut off right now because I needed a little bit of time. And you'll see it made plenty of resources. It didn't make much in terms of redstone, and that's because mostly it was operating on gravel. I needed the ores. I'll worry about redstone in just a little bit. But I do need one redstone to make the redstone torch. And the rest of it's iron and iron bars. And I think I have plenty of this chest over here. Iron. Yep, and I was out of redstone, which makes sense. Do I have any sticks? I do. Good. That should be everything that I need to make this. So let's start with this redstone torch. And I need 2 iron bars, but I can only make them in groups of 16. Well, that's life. Let's go ahead and make the sprinkler itself. And now, let me see if I can figure out how to make it work. I should probably have read up on it first, and likely if this doesn't instantly do anything that I expect it to, I will go ahead and do just that. So let's see. It's got an inventory. I don't know what I need to put in the inventory. So, like I said, I'll be right back, folks. So, what I've read is this. To make this work, let's see if I can just pick it up. Yep. To make this work, I need an open blocks tank underneath it. And let me just take a look, but I think the recipe for the tank, mariculture, fish tank, rain tank, open blocks tank, is 4 obsidian and 5 glass pane. I'm pretty sure I have some glass left over. Obsidian would seem to be an issue. It turns out that it's not. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. Where is my bucket? Bucket, bucket. There's my bucket. So, I have this machine right, not here, right, no, it is right here. I have this machine right here that will allow me to make obsidian. Now, it's going to require quite a lot of lava. Luckily, I have this here thing here that allows me to make lots of lava. I can fit 1 more bucket worth in there. Now, I need water. So, I'm going to go and get it. And so I'm going to use this to make my obsidian. And then I'm going to make the open blocks tank. And once I've done that, I will come back and show you me setting this whole thing up and figuring out the little lighting problems that I'm likely to have in setting this whole thing up. So, I'll be right back again, folks. So remember that pneumatic servo in the machine frame that I made spare last time? Looks like it's about to be put into use, and I'm going to have to make myself some more fluid ducts. The reason is this. This is going to need a constant supply of water. And it's going to hydrate the dirt around it, and it's going to act like a water source. So it's going to cover all of the needs that I have. So let me go ahead and make the things that I need. I need tin. I need clear glass. I've got only 1 clear glass. So let's see if I can steal some sand from over here and get some smelting going on. I'll need 1, but might as well go with the full 8. I now have lots of these leftover oak wood slabs to use up. Well, other slab sorts too, but that's fine. I'm going to get this 1 glass, tin, and a bucket. Grab some tin, aluminum, bing, ferrous, tin. Now and I need to make a bucket out of the iron that I have on me, because I want to still have a bucket available. So, let's go ahead and see if it assembles. It does. Good. Now, for those of you who haven't set up an aqueous accumulator before, actually, for those of you who haven't set up an aqueous accumulator before, it is necessary that you place water on 2 sides of it. It will very, very slowly collect water if you don't do that, but if you do, it will do it very quickly. So, that's the way you want to go about it. So let me just grab this stuff. And this, That's more than enough. Now, the advantage of the aqueous accumulator over an infinite water source, all of the water is automatically in the pipes, which is a great advantage, and it automatically outputs to those pipes. It doesn't need any sort of like, I don't need to put a servo on it, I don't need to put a lever on it, I don't need to worry about any of those things. So, let's go set this thing up. I'm going to need probably some slabs of various kinds to make myself a little bit of a pool around this aqueous accumulator. Oh, also, aqueous accumulator does not need water to operate. This is a nice thing also. So let's see, where do I want my aqueous accumulator? I think right here up against the edge seems like a good deal. Should have brought my pickaxe, I need it. I'm going to have to tear up some stuff, as it were. I may even have to tear up some farmland. We shall see. Pickaxe, good. Because, and this may very well harm my farm, but I need to do it anyway right now. I need to pickaxe that block down there out, and in that block I'm going to put the fluid duct that's going to connect to this tank. There we go. And then I need to place down the open block tank in this space, which is going to destroy the water. And then I can place the sprinkler there, and that will cover my entire farm. Now what I need to do is I need to run fluid over there. So I've changed my mind, and I think I'm going to put my aqueous accumulator here. No, I'm going to go with over here like I originally decided. Let's see. So actually, let me put that slab back. Got plenty of these slabs, that's necessary. Just going to go water against here, and then the accumulator itself. It's going to go here, and I'm going to ask it to, oh, it needs to output out the bottom. It's set out to output anywhere, so, but before I run any of this stuff, I need to put down the fluid duct there and there. That connects that up. Now I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work underneath here. We'll see how much of it I can do without tearing up the farmland. Maybe a little, and maybe a lot. I'm moderately good at getting things like that to work. Now the question is, can I put a block in that space? Yeah. Nope, doesn't look like I can. I can put one there though, I hope. Nope, that wasn't right. Right there. There we go. And it's full of water because the aqueous accumulator is already starting to do what it is that I brought it for, which is collect water. But it's doing it extraordinarily slowly. I think it does 1 or 2 a second, something like that, which is nowhere near enough for the purposes that we have. So, let me put a couple of these staircases back, and we'll go get a little bit of water, and then I'm going to have to do just a little bit more work on running piping. So, buckets of water, yes. Back to my infinite water source. This is, another advantage of this is that it gives me another infinite water source that's in a block, which means that I'll have tanks of water available for me to pull out of, that sort of thing. So put a block of water there, and a second one on the other side of it. You can do it in an L formation, however you want to, as long as it's on 2 sides of the aqueous accumulator. The aqueous accumulator will collect water extremely rapidly, as if it were a infinite water source block. So we look in it now. Now it's filling up much more quickly. Now I noticed that it drained out quite a lot of liquid. Nope, it didn't make it to the tank. So, unfortunately for me, this is a little bit sad, but I'm going to have to tear up a little bit of farmland. Okay, now let's get that pickaxe back out. Chop this up. Now, placing this, everything connected, that filled up. The open block sprinkler begins spraying water out. And I'm not sure if this block above it is inhibiting it. It seems like it might be. So, let me put this cropland back and replant and move the light. This and this. We're done with the fluid duct for the moment. But I'm actually going to destroy that chunk of farmland for a moment and do this and that and break my torches and move them up. Said move them up. Done with those slabs. Okay. Torch. Broke that farmland. Torch. Torch and torch. Now I don't need this open blocks tank just sitting in the air here. I don't need this here. I don't need this there. And I can use my hoe. Yes, and now the open block sprinkler seems to be doing a much better job of coverage, and plants are growing much faster. If I wanted them to grow even faster, I could take bone meal and put it in there, and when I have an unlimited bone meal supply, which I'll have as soon as I have myself a monster grinder set up, then I will definitely do so. But for now, there's a setup for a farm. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on my ores, and I will be right back. Hi folks, so I made myself another autonomous activator because if you see what I've got in my inventory, you'll understand why I don't want to do any of this manually. So let me show you the setup I'm going to use. Any of you who've seen my latest videos on let's see how I'm only going to have one autonomous activator. So, if you've seen my video on automation of this stuff, you'll know this is pretty much a standard build of mine for this environment. I need a lever, which I thought I had up there. I knew I had a lever. I need my crescent hammer, and I'm going to need a barrel from Just Another Better Barrel add-on? Sure. So, regular wood, a slab, and a chest. Do I have any chests left? No, I've used them all. As you see, I've organized things over there a little bit better. So, I'm going to need this, and I've got plenty of slabs. So, there's a chest worth. That. A slab. And wood. One Java barrel. Now, what else do I need? Well, I need a lot of hammers, but I don't really want to craft them over here. I really prefer to craft them over there. So, grab myself a crafting table. Actually, I already got one over there. That's where I'm going to set it up. So, I'd like to set it up relatively close to here so that I can stand here and collect items from both of these. So, autonomous activator. Like so. Facing this way. And I'm going to have to do a lot of this work manually for the moment till I can afford a third autonomous activator. They aren't cheap, folks. Let's see. Now I have myself a barrel. Place the barrel on top. There. Place the barrel on top. Can I wrench it till it faces this way? No, apparently that didn't work. What if I shift? Nope. guess, since I really do want to be able to see this, that I'm going to have to just do a jump shot. Now, I want this right-clicking, not sneaking, and now, what is it that I wanted to craft that was going to be of such concern that I didn't want to craft it over there? Well, I want a whole bunch of hammers. That should be enough plus sticks. And I'm going to take those hammers and put them in here. And what that's going to do is it's going to refill this with hammers when I tell it to. Well, which that's going to be all the time. Let me move this lever over for cosmetic reasons. Output from the bottom of the barrel, input to here. You accept items in from the top. Oh, that's blue. And should fill with hammers. Absolutely perfect. So, it's going to round robin use the hammers, which really means that it's going to use them all up at about the same time. That's fine by me. So, now, I'm going to actually turn this machine... I'm just going to do this for a little while. Is it working like it's supposed to? Is it left? Yep, it's left click. Okay, so now I'm just going to stand here and hold the right mouse button down and place all these various gravel ores down and allow this to pound them all into the crushed ore that I need to move on to the next step of my process. So, after I do this, I'll come back and show you phase 3. Hi folks, so I wanted to let you know that my sprinkler is doing an amazing job on my farm. My smelter is busy over there turning my blocks of ore, which you'll notice I kept the collection out that might alloy. So it's going ahead and making ingots out of everything that I made, which is great. And I have decided to start a little bit of work on my project up here, chopping down this house. I don't, like I said, I've said before, I don't want this island up here. I don't like the way it's made of micro blocks. I'm just going to disassemble the whole thing. That'll give me some pretty lanterns to work with. It'll give me some clay blocks to work with, etc. So, just wanted to give you guys a quick update so that you weren't surprised when next time I turned around there wasn't much of an island left. So, anyway, I'll be back once I've actually finished completely smelting all of these ingots. Hello folks, so I've made my third autonomous activator and I've set it up for dropping things that need to be repulverized down. That also keeps me from walking in front of this activator, which kept hitting me in the head with a hammer. Well, legs to be fair. My farm has basically solved the food problem. Actually, let me grab some coal and bring it over there. I know that's a crazy use of a rare resource, but it ain't going to be rare anytime soon. So, I'm going to bring it over here, split it into quarters, and put it in these here. For cooking bread with, obviously. Yeah, my farm has solved the food problem. I'm not eating the most nourishing food. It's not particularly saturating, all of that, but it's food. It keeps me alive, and that's important. So, where am I at now? Well, oh, and also while that was all going on, I came over here and planted the few sugarcane seed saplings that I had, and have been working to expand the sugarcane farm every time I come over here. I haven't yet got any sugarcane that I can actually, like, keep for my own self. Instead, it's all gone into replanting the farm. There it is. That's what I wanted. But, as you see, I'm getting close. Now, for me, the next important thing is this. I really want to be able to stop standing over there being the collection point for all of the ores that are being sifted and that are being pulverized. I'm definitely getting good stuff, and I'm definitely working my way towards having plenty of resources. In fact, I can come over here and show you. I got a lot of ores, including this Invar that I smelted up. I got a lot of ores placed here. That's really good. That means that when I decide to build something, I'll have the supplies for it. But, I can't, because I can't walk away from that location, because I'm the reason the whole system works. I have to shut it down to walk away. That's frustrating. I mean, you know, I'd actually like to be able to play more. And every time I play, basically what I find myself doing is climbing up into one of these gigantic trees and slicing it down. Oh, since I haven't shown you this on camera, I want to show you how satisfying this is. It's so nice, after spending a while with a crook, slowly chopping down one leaf at a time, to be able to just, like, power through a tree like that. I know it costs me Invar, and I know it would be really nice if it didn't cost me Invar, but I've got Invar, and I might as well make uses of it to make my life more fun and better. So, what was I going to do with this? Oh yeah, I was going to come over here and sharpen my hatchet. Repair it, really, but whatever. So, go put those saplings away. Got a reasonable collection of oak going. That's nice. But the next thing that I need to do is build myself a mob spawner. Now, mobs make me nervous. I can be 100% honest and say mobs make me nervous. I'm not a huge fan of having a lot of them nearby, but I do want to kill them, and I do want their mob drops. So, how am I going to go about that? Well, first, punji sticks. Punji sticks are made just out of sugarcane. That makes 5 of them. I intend to make a tower that has a 3x3 drop chamber, just so that I can make sure that even if spiders drop into it, I get them. And I'm going to lace the floor with punji sticks. Underneath the punji sticks, I'm going to put hoppers, and then I'm going to feed the last hopper into an item duct and feed it into the back of a row of barrels. That's how I intend to do the collection. And frankly, now I have more than enough cobblestone that I can go ahead and build it. So, let me get my decision about exactly where I'm going to place it, and then I'll be right back to you. Okay, folks, so there is the splashdown platform that I intended to build. So my mob trap's going up there. Time for me to get started. So I measured out from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means, at least theoretically, first let me start by doing this. And that gets that even. And that even. Might as well do this. Honestly, those are the only places that are open. So, that's the basic layout. Now it's time for me to do a little climbing. So, I'm going to build myself some things so that I'm ready and collect some stuff, and I'll be right back when it's time for me to climb up and do the dirty work. Be right back. Okay, so this may be the dorkiest thing that I've ever said on camera, but I applied the Pythagorean theorem, and given that the base is 10, and I would like the hypotenuse to be between 23 and 34, because monsters spawn in that range and continue moving, I decided that I need this wall to be 22 ladders tall. So I brought 24 ladders so that I'll have 2 spare. So, yes, I literally am applying the Pythagorean theorem to construction of Minecraft buildings, you know, if you're serious about it, you apply every tool you have in your toolbox. So, this is me. For those who have never played this sort of trick, if you hold the shift key when you're on a ladder, you can just like stay on the ladder and look around and do whatever it is that you'd like to do. So I just inch up and place a ladder and inch up and place a ladder, waiting until I have 2 left over. And that will be my indication that I have reached the appropriate altitude for my spawner. And then, of course, I'll need to go and fill in all the walls, but that's fine. Then at least I have a way up and down and some basic safety in the process of doing this. And one more. That makes this the appropriate altitude for my mob spawner. Looks good. Let go of shift. And down I go. So, now I'm going to come down to here, where I can now reach the entire place that I'm putting blocks, and I'm just literally going to stand on the ladder and climb up a little bit, place a couple more blocks, rinse, repeat. So you probably don't need to see me build this entire column all the way up to the sky, so I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be back once I have this tower built. There we are, and I'm done. So, got myself a nice tall tower, goes all the way down to the landing pad where I intend monsters to take some damage on landing, but they're not going to die until they're, ready, as it were. Now, I am going to model this off a, didn't want to put that there. I'm going to model this off of basically every mob spawning tower I've ever seen. My intent with this one is to make a mob spawning tower that will allow any mob that spawns in here to move and fall and die. Yes, I know that we have some concern about spiders, being able to climb the walls in here and whatnot. I don't think that's going to cut off my supply much, and it'll be nice to have the string. It'll keep me from having to deal with crooks and trees and all of that fun stuff. So, and while I'm building this, I'm going to very carefully light up the insides because I don't want any monsters to spawn while I'm up here. So, let me see. That's a good platform for this level. Let me go ahead and start the platform that goes up. And I'll show you how I'm laying this whole thing out. I didn't bring all of the things that I need to make this up with me, but I did bring enough to get myself firmly started. So, this is what I'm going to call my level 1 spawning pad. I want all mobs to be able to spawn on here, so I'm going to leave 2x2 locations. If you were particularly concerned about, for example, spiders spawning, you could put a half slab every other location. Spiders need a 2x2 location to be able to spawn at all, and so you would effectively, by doing that, guarantee that no spiders could spawn in this location. That would restrict you to Endermen, zombies, skeletons, all the 1-block hostile mobs. Now, it'll only be hostile mobs because this is not grass. Theoretically, if I wanted to be really nuts, I could try to fill this area with grass, because I am up over a forest. There's some possibility that non-hostile mobs, friendly mobs, chickens, pigs, cows, etc., might spawn in here occasionally, but it would be too dark. Never mind. Silly idea on my part. They need a higher light level to be able to spawn in the first place, and so there's absolutely no reason to go to the effort of trying to make a dual spawner, because it won't work. Okay, there we go. There is my basic layout. 2 and 3. Now, because that hole is in the middle, there's absolutely no reason for me to leave that empty, as it were. So I'm going to cover it over on this level. This also has the advantage of, if I fall, I don't die. I really have worked very, very hard to not die even once in the process of building all of this and setting up this wonderful base. And so I don't want to start doing it now. So now, let's see. I'm going to make this spawning pad. I would like it to be 3 wide, and then there's going to be a wall around the outside of it. So I'm going to build up this platform, and I'll be right back. Alright, folks, just wanted you to see what the insanity that I'm building. There is where I was last time. There's that center shaft with my ladders are. Run around the other side so you can see them. Ladders are right there. I am building the final wall right now. This is, the ceiling is going to be flush with that top, basically coming in like this. So, I just wanted to let you see where I was and what I was doing. Looks like I've built till almost directly above the edge of my smeltery, and that seems just about perfect because I am now up 6 blocks higher, which means that I have a very good chance that almost all of this area is within the 25 to 35 range. It means that monsters will be able to spawn and continue moving around. Monsters will only spawn if they are more than 25 blocks from you. But if they are more than 35 blocks from you, my understanding is, they do not spawn, or if they do, they immediately stop moving, which is kind of worthless to me. I would like them to stick around so that they can wander into my pit of doom. I've actually made the joke in my own head a couple of times that I'm literally building a death trap in the sky on a skyblock game. So yeah, let me get a little more work done on my death trap and I'll be right back. So my original intention for all these half slabs is to come up here and put half slabs all over this roof to make sure that it was all lit up and there was no mob spawning. But I'll be 100% honest, I'm just fine with the torches up here. I don't need to do that extra chunk of work. So I'm just going to back down this hole and seal it up behind me. And get rid of this ladder, because I'm not going up to the roof again. I will probably be building myself a noob tower up to this corner, or one of these corners, because at some point it's possible that I will need to come back up to the roof for the purposes of maintenance, or the purposes, I don't know. I don't know why I might have to, but I can almost guarantee something will lead me to needing to come up to that tower, and it's easier for me to just build that right now rather than waiting till later. So now, the next thing that you want to do, if you're building yourself a spawning tower, is to surround the edges like this with trapdoors and then open them all. The reason for that is this. Mobs are, well, not smart. I'm not going to use the word smart, but they are moderately bright in that they won't just walk off an edge. However, they do have the problem of not recognizing these trapdoors as being edges. They're just another piece of floor. So they basically just simply walk right off these into the next level down, which is exactly what I want them to do. That makes me happy, and all is well in the world. So, actually, before I come out of there, I'm obviously going to need a lot more trapdoors than I brought. I basically didn't want to use up every piece of wood that I had until I was sure I needed them. I didn't have an exact count. So, that all looks good. Time to do the next level in. So, I'm going to place all of these trapdoors, and I'm going to open them all, like so. And then I'm going to go and get my punchy sticks, and I'll come back when I'm ready to do final setup so you can see exactly how that process goes. Well, heck, would you look at that. 6 trapdoors remaining, and only 4 places to put them in. Turns out, I got my count pretty accurate in the first place. So, time to go make those punchy sticks. I might as well do all this on camera. It's easy enough. There's some food. Didn't waste the trip. Hey, look, lots and lots of sugar cane. That's just what I hoped since I was down there for that whole length of time. Yes, I know, game. You can tell me all you'd like that there's a giant hole underneath me. I'm playing a Skyblock game. There's gonna be. Okay, 29. That's mob. I hear a mob. Where? In one of the trees? The map says that it's right there. There we go. Hiya, buddy. Time for you to get whacked in the face with an axe. Rough day for him. Okay, what was I doing with punji sticks? Oh yeah. Punji sticks. I want 2 sets of them. That allows me more sugarcane, so I can go and plant the remaining sugarcane and finish off my sugarcane plantation. That's good. That makes me happy. Now I have spare sugarcane. Toss this in there. And time to get started. So, here you go. You get to see the final work and setup and whatnot of my mob spawner, and hopefully you'll get to see the first monsters drop off real quick like. So, first thing we do, all the way up to the top, remove these 2. I can fall 1 block and that won't hurt me a bit. Flip that down and put 1 here and flip it down. And then remove all of the torches on this level. Notice all these spots are becoming red X's. That means mob spawn. And that means, quite frankly, that over there is probably far enough away that mobs can spawn. Let's come over here and remove these torches. And that will basically take this entire floor down into mob spawning possibility territory. So now it's time for me to move quick, because things are starting to get dangerous. Let's go ahead and knock those down. I'll accept the fall damage and remove these torches. One trapdoor here. Flip it. It's going to get dark, and I apologize for that. I know that on YouTube, videos are a lot darker, but not a lot I can do about that right now. So, we break that. We flip this down. We knock down the remaining 2 torches. It becomes dark as blazes in here. And then we fall. But because we have the ability to climb ladders, it's not so bad. The problem is, mobs are going to begin spawning any moment now. So, I should probably use my axe. I basically want to remove all of the ladders on the way down to keep any of the monsters from getting a hold of these ladders and slowing their fall. I don't entirely intend to kill them by the fall, but I'd like them to take a bunch of damage on the way. It'll make this whole thing a lot faster, and in the end, a lot safer for me. So, there's that, and many of those ladders will have just fallen into my hoppers and ended up in barrels. That's fine, I'll go clear them up in a minute. So, I want to put punji sticks on all of these, and then I would like to seal this up in such a way that any mobs that are standing in there can't really see me. And there we go. Mobs are falling and spawning, and that makes me happy. Now, let's go ahead and check this system, see what's going on. Yep, I have one little problem in that I need all I really need is a lever, don't I? Yeah, let's get myself a lever. see, where's the place to put the lever? The lever's going to go right there. And, oh, I see what I did wrong. Just a moment, folks. I need my crescent hammer. Maybe I didn't need a lever. I'm actually going to find out because, well, it's good, important information for me to have. Flip the lever off, switch that to out. Now, does this empty? No, it doesn't. So it does need a lever. And now these hoppers will empty. Beautiful. This is an absolutely beautiful thing. So, now, I got myself a little bit of a problem in that things aren't all showing up where I want them to. So let's go ahead. Let's see, if I shift right click, if I right click on this, can I lock it? I thought there was a way of locking these. Let me try bare hand. Yep, shift right click will lock any given barrel for its contents. So let me take all of this out, log, and shift lock that, shift lock that, shift lock there and there. Now at the moment I have nothing to put in there, but we'll see what the first thing is that shows up that's not one of those items. Good. Mobs are falling and spawning and dying. I hope I get an Enderman soon. That would make me happy. But, for the moment, I have a working mob spawner. I'm actually going to make a... do I have the things I need? Can I make a note block? I sure as heck can. I'm going to go ahead and make a sound muffler, because that sound's going to drive everyone crazy, me especially. And I don't want to get used to the sound of mobs in and around my base. I don't want that to become a thing that I'm just used to, because occasionally it will be an actual mob and it'll be dangerous for me not to respond. So, let's see, how much string can I, how much wool can I make, and how much does the sound muffler take? Let's see how much string I got. I already got a whole bunch. That's nice. Let's come over here. I'm always going to need wool. Muffle block, please. And with this sound muffler, didn't I have a rain muffler? Yes, I have a rain muffler that was given to me as part of the game. So, where do I want to put this? I'm going to put it in that block right there. And hopefully, not silence, but darn close to it. So I don't have to kill any of these mobs. Items are dropping. Unfortunately, it looks like at least some of them. Nope, nothing's falling underneath. Good. It's all being sucked up by the hoppers, just like I want it to. At the moment, I've got little issues, like, for example, the fact is string ends up in here and here. That's because I was kind of trying to be frugal with my item duct. So when it gets here, it has a choice, and the choice so far isn't good. Actually, I have a way of solving this problem. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's go ahead and put, you notice you can hear them ever so slightly in the background. I kind of like that. It's a reminder that enemies are dying. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, I'm going to do this. Whack. There. Now, what's going to happen is any items that show up like ender pearls that are not one of these already pre-sorted things are going to end up in my chest down here. And that's just fine. I now know I can put away any of these things that I have. In fact, let me go check and see what I've got in my inventory. So, there we go, folks. There is the construction of one pretty basic, but nonetheless quite functional mob spawning tower that has gotten me access to a whole bunch of resources that I didn't have before. And that's a nice thing. So, I'm going to call that a completed episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Just a quick note, folks, I wanted to let you know that I had to go in and do a little bit of internal rocket surgery on this tower. The issue was that it was not producing ender pearls, and when I went in and looked, I had not designed the platforms correctly. The center platforms were too low, so I just ripped them out. And as you see now, it is producing ender pearls. So I've reduced the efficiency of my tower somewhat by decreasing the amount of spawning space available, but I've increased the chances that endermen are going to fall down into my system, so that makes me happy. So anyway, just a quick addendum, folks. See you next time.